Welcome on Mercurial Mercenaries. Probably a bit late to do this. The world and his dog has already listened to King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard's new single. I've listened to it, the CYBOOGIE song, a few times already, and I'll give you my kind of reactions in a second. What I've done is right now, although what you're watching is later, but right now, as in now, I've put feelers out there on Twitter, on Facebook, on my YouTube site, just asking for your opinions on King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard's new song, new single. And if those opinions start to flood, there'll be 3 of you max. If they start to flood in during this video, I'm going to tell the world what you think as well. I'm armed. I'm gonna listen to CYBOOGIE again. All right. And I'm aware that there'll be a copyright issue because it's a brand new song. So I'll do something about that. We're armed with Monster Munch. We're armed with Cadbury's cream eggs. And that. Let's just do it first of all. Let's just have another listen to this weird oddity. First reactions. Yesterday, I think it was, when I first listened to it. This is, and I've said it on a few of my comments, 70s electro disco. And I have lots of music in my collection that already sounds pretty much like this, but I can imagine there's a whole legion of youth out there. This will be a novelty for them. But it's got that glam metal drum beat from the 70s. And yes, I could just listen to it, but this video is quite magnificent. It looks like it's filmed on VHS tape, and I mean, even when you tell someone you listen to King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, they look at you like you're mad anyway. Imagine if you CYBOOGIE. Imagine if you played this video to them as their first ever experience. The singer's inside a keyboard. Boogie, boogie, boogie. Oh, with headphones. I've only listened to it kind of out loud with my phone so far. Listen to it with headphones on. Lots of little bits and pieces going on. Oh, I can imagine Richard Burton doing a speech over that bit. I mean, explaining what the singer's doing inside a keyboard wearing a crash helmet. Recruit number 6, is this the sort of music you listen to? For fun? Yeah, it is. It's another era as well, my mercenaries. This is the era of the baby blue watch. The era of the orange watch is over! CYBOOGIE! I like that bit. The bit goes down. Boogie, 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 boogie. It goes up even more than I thought it was going to. And the bits where the keyboard plays. That is really 70s theme show. Something that Ronnie Corbett would have starred in. Boogie, 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 boogie. Crash helmets. Oh, this has got to be the most restrained the drummers have ever been. This. I mean, I think that when you marry the visuals with the music, that is a perfect marriage made in electro hell. I mean, maybe it's not a surprise that a band that when I watched them last year are all about mashing guitars and mashing drums in a complete cacophony. And then when they come back as a kind of late 70s, early 80s retro band. Building that way a little bit on the likes of Polygon Dwellerland, maybe? I mean, the last sort of song that I had the experience of being a single, what I've liked the band, was Crumbling Castle. Which if I was gonna do a King Gizzard top 10 songs, if you want me to do one, I think that has a high chance of boogie, 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 boogie. Top of the chart. Tell you what. I was going to say this song has a lot less impact than Crumbling Castle, but Crumbling Castle was a more powerful song, and it did have more impact initially. But the more I listen to this song, the more I like. I mean, this band is just having a laugh. You got musicians and bands all over the world taking themselves ultra seriously. Like you've got to, if you want to make a career out of it. But this band just do what the hell they want. And that is something that I respect. Ridiculous. What a ridiculous, ridiculous song. Now, I haven't even listened to the B-side of that one yet. I tried to find it on Bandcamp, and I couldn't. I failed. But someone, Fencing Man, did post a recording of it from the B-side to CYBOOGIE is amazing. I'm listening to this for the first time. This is my first recorded on his phone. This is my first experience of this one now. Oh, wow. Proper drums back again. Ooh. This is... Okay, this is prog rock. Ooh, okay. I'm liking the absolute Polygon Dwellerland vibe going on this one. Right, I'll stop this here for a minute because this isn't getting us anywhere with this particular video, and I will come back and listen to that one properly. But for the moment, that is my quick preliminary, probably silent with just you watching my reaction to the new CYBOOGIE song by King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. And like I said, and this is just a rambling video, and I don't expect anyone to like this. I expect lots of thumbs downs, and it's certainly too late on the train. I see that even the Melon has already done a video about this. I occasionally watch him. His vibe, actually, I would love to say that I disagreed with him just to cause some sort of not controversy, because who cares what I think, but just to be a bit different. But he pretty much summed up what I thought to a certain extent, which is this song sounds like a band having a laugh. It sounds genuine in that they are constantly thinking, what can we do that's different? And they've just thought, we'll go completely electro, and why not? And yeah, maybe it's a little bit novelty, but I'm not. What I want to do now is I want to see what you guys have thought about this song. So, before I go to the scores on the doors from you guys, my feeling is that it's probably not a great immediate impact song. But it has. I can hear that it's a kind of electro version of something like Rattlesnake. Repeated phrases, repetitive beats, something that wants to drill to the core of your being. But this time it's doing it with a bloke stuck inside a keyboard with a cycle helmet on with a microphone hanging off the top of it. Why not? That's what Australians do. They either play guitar dressed as schoolboys, or they spin around, or they do this. Oh, actually, first of all, let me do one more thing. Let me just mention the fact that Clive Swift it's just been announced that Clive Swift has died. He was Richard in Keeping Up Appearances, but for me, growing up, he was one of the main characters in Alfred Hitchcock's film Frenzy, one of Alfred Hitchcock's later films, one of his last films, in fact, and a hugely underrated film. And Clive Swift was absolutely amazing in it. So I really, and he's amazing in Keeping Up Appearances, one of my favourite comedies of all time. So sorry, I'm all, I don't know. I'm sitting on a cat's face, so I'm genuinely sad to read that. That is sad news. Sad news. Now, so I put it out to Twitter, and Stephen McDonald says, it's fun. Likely won't be among my very favourites of theirs, but I still enjoy it. I think of it as a sibling to other odd but light-hearted tunes like Hot Wax. Looking forward to seeing how it fits on an album. I agree, because you've got to think that King Gizzard are putting out like feelers, or like they're saying to the world, this is where we're going. I've got to say, from the B-side that I just listened to a little bit of, that does sound a little bit more proggy, whereas this CYBOOGIE song is a bit more straight electro. So your guess is as good as mine at the moment where this album is truly heading. But I think I agree with Stephen McDonald there, in that the most interesting thing about what this song with Stu sitting inside a keyboard wearing a cycle helmet is saying to the world. It's saying, we are hoping to mess with your heads. Tim Alm says it reminds him of Bitter Boogie on Paper Mache Dream Balloon. Now, I'd need to go back and listen to Bitter Boogie, but there you go. Tim straight away saying that this song, even though other people are probably saying that it's perhaps a departure, it's actually harks back to previous releases. Kai Ballion says, they could release audio of them just sitting around and it'd be great. But I love the track. Their lyrics always mention tech and AI, so maybe the next album will be a synth-heavy view of the Gizverse through the eyes of sentient robotic life forms. Maybe Han Taiyumi. I like that. I like the idea that you would quite happily listen to audio of them just sitting around. Now, I think you mean sitting around sort of silently, just hearing the sound. Perhaps if King Gizzard, if you just had the sound of a cat's cushion under King Gizzard's ass. So if they released this, I know what you mean. People would buy it. Oh, see, I put on my channel thoughts on the new King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard single. Unfortunately, no one has any thoughts yet. Oh, what about on Facebook? How Oh, it's tempting to eat Monster Munch. The thing is, if I eat the Monster Munch now, it's pickled onion flavour. It's the greatest. As a kid, I've got to say, I preferred the yellow pack with the roast beef ones. But I think if you had to pick the most iconic flavour of Monster Munch, it would be pickled onion, wouldn't it? Pickled onion. Hang on. Why isn't my phone loading it up? Come off the Wi-Fi. Back onto 4G. Oh, you can't. The thing is, you can't smell this now. Oh, come on, go. Well, I can't spit in your face. You also don't care that I'm speaking while I'm eating. Michelangelo says King Giz goes full Kraftwerk. I don't own any Kraftwerk albums. I know the obvious singles, and I know the influence. So I suppose when someone just goes full kind of robot keyboard, yeah, I can see that. Emil Rosenlund Illum. Emil Rosenlund Illum says pretty fun. The B-side is much more me though. From the little bit I just heard, I think that B-side, well, I was going to say it might be better than the A-side. I mean, I've only listened to like 7 seconds of the B-side. But I like the idea of a band who is happy to do a kind of Penny Lane Strawberry Fields thing, where one song isn't... The days I used to buy singles, there was a time when the B-side was just as important as the A-side. And many a time in history, the B-side has been the better song. I'm trying to think of an example just straight off the top of my head. I don't want to get it wrong, but something like Gloria Gaynor's I Will Survive. That was the B-side, wasn't it? I think. I don't do research, I'm just going to chuck it out there. And then we got to the point where B-sides were just acoustic versions of songs, and sometimes it was just mixed differently. So it wasn't even the band or the solo artist doing an acoustic version of the song. It was just, let's strip some of the instruments out. Lazy, lame shit. So I like the idea of, and then you got the problem of even calling it a single. What's a single now? It's just a couple of songs that you can listen to. I don't know. The music industry is so alien to what I grew up with. And is it for better or for worse? I don't even know. Carla Bradley says it's cute. I think I know where you're coming from on that, Carla. I think any time that you put a man inside a keyboard and put a bicycle helmet on his head and make him just do that with his hands, I think you've got to say that's cute. You've got to say that's cute. Patrick Pospisil says it's fun. I think we have got a 70s electro disco moment of fun with coffee. Yeah. Has anyone said anything on my channel? Someone say something. Holy shit. God. Someone say something. I'm recording a video here. Someone say something. No capital S on someone. Faux pas. I'm recording a video here. Twitter. Let's go back to Twitter. Nothing. Back to Facebook. It's not going good. I admit, it's not going well. That's it. I think we're all out of opinions. Oh, just did the Discord. Hang on. So, thoughts on this single now it's had time to sink in. Fencing Man. I personally love it. It's something different. Not something I was expecting. But that makes it a lot more... I'm gonna belch now because of the... I do apologise. I do apologise for that. That just ruined the... it's kind of ruined the integrity of what Fencing Man was saying. It was disrespectful of me to do that then. I do apologise, my mercenaries. It's something different, not something I was expecting. Right, paw prints. Dinosaur paw prints. But that makes it a lot more fresh to me, and it makes me kind of enjoy it more now. It's definitely not like something that I would consider to be up there with their best, but I don't think King Gizzard has ever really made a bad song. And I really want to hear Acarine, the B-side properly, as opposed to that one recording of it. You don't think King Gizzard have ever really made a bad song? That's an interesting point. The idea that, is there any band out there that hasn't ever made a bad song? I'm trying to think of like my favourite bands. I don't know, I mean like Maiden's Quest for Fire of Peace of Mind. Drawn by quest for fire, we search across the land. Without, Bruce didn't sing it with Monster Munch between his teeth. Drawn by quest for fire, discovery of man. Oh, I mean, I don't know. There's nothing bad on this album. Is there? Any bad songs on Appetite for Destruction? Nah. None on that one. None on... I mean, this is one of the greatest albums of all time. You know... The Prophecy. King Gizzard. Gizzard. Band that have never made a bad song. Some of you didn't like... There was a very AOR song on Gumboot Soup that some of you didn't like. That very la-di-da song. Sounded a bit like 10cc. Well, I'm not going to press play on Schmutik's suggestion here. I asked a simple question, and you've chosen to come back with a silly answer. Oh, we've got one new comment on Facebook. I want... Oh, no, we could have a drum roll. A drum roll before we go down. Drum roll. Stefan Kalita says, pretty freaking great. This is good. The very first, if I go to my Instagram account, the very first opinion I got from another Mercurial mercenary, in my opinion, just meh. Retread of what others have done over the years, unlike a lot of their more innovative material of 2017. Still a fan though. That's a respectable point. I suppose if you're looking for originality and innovation, and you've got a band that did something like Nonagon Infinity and Murder of the Universe, and especially the microtonal stuff with Banana, and then you hear this, which is the the bass line, octave bass line, CYBOOGIE, ding ding ding, a CYBOOGIE, da 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 down, a CYBOOGIE, da 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 down, a CYBOOGIE. I don't know. I suppose if you're looking for innovation and you get that, you think, eh. I think though, like I said in one of my first comments, I think it's a grower. Because my first reaction, I think, was a little bit... I liked it, I think. I laughed. I laughed. My first reaction involved watching the video as well, and I laughed. And I like electro. I like keyboard. I've got keyboards. I like keyboards. I like electro. I think if you wanted mad, sweaty guitar garage rock, this is not going to be exciting you. However, I think it paves the way for interesting times to come, my mercenaries. Nothing. My child's like a void. It's an empty void. An empty place. I sit here in the Mercurial number 6 studio TM. And I just sit here. I based myself in my own juice. not sexually. What I want you to do, and I'm genuinely interested because I like to gauge, I read the comments, and I would like to gauge people's opinions here. Because I enjoyed the run through Murder of the Universe, Sketches of Brunswick East, Polygon Dwanaland, Gumboot Soup. I enjoyed that kind of journey. I'm trying to work out whether it was a journey, it was always a journey into the unknown, but whether it was a journey that we were enjoying every step of the way without having to eat one of our colleagues. Not sexually, I mean like eat because we're all freezing to death. And it's a choice between eating yellow snow or eating your fellow human being. I don't know why we eat it. I don't know why we're eating people. I think, you know what it is? It's a combination of that. And the prospect of eating that and rubbing that all over my face. Let me know down below what you think of CYBOOGIE. That's all you've got to do right now. That's all you've got to do right now. Thank you very much. Over and